Hey, you guys, let's talk about ice cream again tonight. A while back, I was on a Baskin Robbins ice cream kick. Now I'm on a Thrifty ice cream kick. And it all started with this little birthday card. Here's the gum I'm chewing tonight, by the way. Trident. Bubble gum. I don't think I need my clicker pen. Anyways, I was at Target, and this card reminded me of my dad, because we're gonna go to a birthday party. My little niece is gonna be 1 year old, and I happened to be passing by the card section, and I saw this. It says, ice cream, use cream. And my dad, when we were growing up, I always used to take us to Thrifty ice cream for a 5-cent Thrifty ice cream cone. And he'd always say, ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So, so I thought of my dad. It says, ice cream, you scream, we all scream for your birthday. I thought that was kind of cute. So, I started having fun memories of my dad growing up, and he's taking us to Thrifty for ice cream cone. We go to Rite Aid a lot, and I must admit, Thrifty ice cream is a wonderful memory. However, compared to Baskin Robbins, with taste-wise, there's no comparison. So you can get these at Rite Aid. They still sell Thrifty ice cream in the freezer section. Rite Aid even has a little ice cream parlor where you can get old-fashioned Thrifty ice cream cones. But unfortunately, not for the same price. We used to get 5 cents for 1 scoop, 10 cents for 2 scoops, and 15 cents for 3 scoops. I don't know what it is now, though. My dad's favorite was pistachio nut. But again, Baskin Robbins comparison, there's no comparison. These were on sale too for $4, and Baskin Robbins, I think we got it at Vaughn's Pavilions on sale too for $5. But even though you pay more, the taste, there's no comparison with Baskin. And pecan praline. I get this every time I see something with praline. I get it because of I Love Lucy. I still don't know exactly what a praline is, but remember when they were driving to California, Ricky, Fred, Ethel, and she kept passing the signs at Sally's something, at Sally's something pralines. So every time I see praline, I gotta have my memory of Lucy. And there's a good memory. There's an ice cream scoop from my father-in-law. I don't know how old this is. It says compliments V&S hardware store. And this is from my grandma. Shortening and ice cream spoon. She lived in California, Los Angeles area, California. And my father-in-law in Indiana bought same ice cream scoop, just different name. Okay. So anyways, I have 2 ice cream books. Vanilla Ice Cream by Bob Graham and The Ice Cream King by Greg McAvoy. I hope you enjoy this tonight. Okay. Vanilla Ice Cream by Bob Graham. A little wild sparrow journeys south through the lush rice paddies of India, across the rough sea, and all the way into a bright new day, where, for just a moment, its world meets with little eddies and the young girl's life. So, excuse me, her name must be Edie. Excuse me. Meet with little Edie, and the young girl's life changes in the most surprising way. I'll get my little feather. I'll get the white feather since this is about vanilla. Bob Graham, about the author. Bob Graham is the author, illustrator of many extraordinary books for children, including How to Heal a Broken Wing and The Silver Button, about which, in a starred review, School Library Journal said that Graham celebrates what can happen in a single moment and reminds readers to pause and observe. About Vanilla Ice Cream, the author says, I wanted to give a small and seemingly unremarkable creature a story, for us to know that it has a life of its own, and that it has worth, and that by chance it might affect our own lives. Bob Graham lives in Australia. These illustrations, it's copyright 2014, printed in China, Candlewick Press. Let's see here. Vanilla Ice Cream. For Vivian and for the sparrows. I might have to move my ice cream display. Okay. For Vivian and for Sparrow. Vanilla Ice Cream, Bob Graham, Candlewick Press. The young sparrow rises from the dust, and he looks down at Anisha and Suhani. There's a sparrow looking down. He is young and he is curious. There he is, flying all around. And bold as a truck stop sparrow. He flies right on her finger. The sparrow is free to go wherever he pleases. There he flies away. Now he's flying away. Now he's flying over their meal. Now he's following this guy. Now he's sitting over here by that guy. So the sparrow is free to go wherever he pleases and to eat whatever he can find. So here he's on a little plate of food, and he gets shooed away. Then he goes looking for more food. looks like he found some rice. Remember, this story takes place in India. And there he is on that little rice truck. And a sparrow leaves the truck stop forever. Oh, see? The sparrow's going away with the rice truck. There you go. There he goes into the city, following the food. There he is at the shipyard. And they're lowering the rice that's going to be exported, I'm guessing. Product of India, rice. Product of India, rice. And the bird is in the bag. Like all wild birds, he follows the food. Isn't that pretty? And then there goes the boat. Export. There goes. There goes. There goes. There goes. And the truck stop Sparrow heads south. Isn't that pretty artwork? It's the ocean. Waves. And the sparrow is still in the boat as the ship rocks and rolls the waves of the ocean. There's poor little sparrow. Okay? Rough ride on the ship. Hey, poor little thing. And he arrives into a bright new day. Pretty artwork. I love the pastel colors. So pretty. Somewhere, somehow, in this vast city, there he is. He got off of the ship. Somewhere, somehow in this vast city, Edie Irvine and her grandma and granddad, there's little Edie Irvine and her grandma and granddad. How cute. And there's a sparrow. See? They're going to make a connection. So it is. Look at that huge, beautiful tree. At the Cafe Botanica, right, in the big city, in just one fleeting moment, there they are. There's a dog. There's little Edie and a little puppy dog. Grandma and Grandpa. There's the puppy dog. In one fleeting moment, oh my goodness, the puppy dog jumps up. So Grandpa's leash. Grandma's got the ice cream. See the ice cream right there? Ice cream. And you see, that's the best part of the story for me. I was waiting. When are they going to get to the ice cream? Vanilla ice cream cones, Grandma. There's vanilla ice cream cones, Grandma. Dog is going, look at this cone. Look where it's going to go. Edie's life changes forever. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes, right in her lap. Perfect. Edie Irvine, also young and curious, for the very first time. How cute. Discovers the taste of vanilla ice cream. Oh my goodness. How cute is that? How fun is that? And there's a little bird. Remember the bird? And some other birds have come around. And poor little Edie. Now it looks like they're leaving. They're going somewhere else. Well, I guess that's the end. Interesting. That's the end of the book. Copyright 2014 by Blackbird Party. Very interesting. Just a quick little book. US, 17 bucks. Canada, 19 bucks. It's kind of interesting. So, but it is my kind of book. A lot of nice, colorful pictures and not very many words. So the moral of the story is, no matter what happens, there's an opportunity for learning or a new experience. It's something good to remember. I think that's a good little book with a good little positive thought that something can happen that you might think is negative, like when the ice cream flew, but it was positive for little Edie. She discovered vanilla ice cream. Vanilla Ice Cream by Bob Graham. Cute. And next we have, after all this, I'll probably go out of my way to go to Rite Aid today. In fact, I do need to go because we have a prescription at the pharmacy. So I'll probably go get there the long way to the back of the store, and I'll pass the ice cream. I'll probably get some more Thrifty ice cream after this. The Ice Cream King by Greg McAvoy. Canada, $18. US, $14. And it says, for as long as he can remember, Lionel has wanted two things: all the ice cream he can eat and the best job in the world. To be a king would be nice. Lionel even goes to king school and studies hard to be the best monarch possible. Imagine his shock when he finds out that the job of king isn't something any ordinary boy can apply for. Just when it seems that he'll never get to wear a crown, something delicious happens. The Ice Cream King is a delightful and fun story that parallels every child's hope of finding happiness and success. Greg McAvoy's playful illustrations and heartwarming text will delight adults and children alike. Oops. Okay, what's on the... And here we have, there's a picture of Greg McAvoy. He's a commercial illustrator and designer, but also enjoys working in advertising and film production. The Canadian Community Newspaper Association has honored Greg with the Jasper Award for the Best Editorial Cartoon, and Greg's first children's picture book, Alfie's Long Winter, is available from Stoddart Kids, and Greg was born in Ottawa, but now makes Toronto his home. Stoddart Kids, printed in Hong Kong. Let's see, I'm going to use, since we're talking about ice cream, I'm going to use vanilla white and strawberry pink. My ice cream king. Look how cute. Oh my goodness, look at that. Is that an ice cream sundae? I'm excited. Look. For my brother Glenn. Text and illustrations, copyright 1998. And published 1998. Started publishing out of Toronto, Canada. And then published United States. Same year, same company out of New York, New York. For my brother Glenn. Ice cream. Look, there's a little town. There's an ice cream shop right there. And there's the kid. There's a little Lionel at the beach making his castle with the sand. Even when he was very young, Lionel knew two things for certain. One, that he had a terrible weakness for ice cream. Every Saturday afternoon, an old horse-drawn wagon rolled past his house. That must be this. That right there. Ice cream. Get your ice cream here, a driver would call out. It was Lionel's favorite day of the week. The other thing was this. If he was going to grow up and work for a living, he might as well have the best job possible. It seemed to him that kings were pretty well paid and powerful people. Besides, he was sure they could have all the ice cream that they wanted. Yes, being a king would be perfect for Lionel. Cute. Look, he had a king's pendant, a royal's pendant. Well, he really kept himself motivated. Prince. He's got crowns everywhere. King Street. Deck of cards. His dog's name was Prince. Was in complete agreement. Lionel and Prince would lie in bed for hours discussing the best way to run a kingdom. Then, late one night, they saw something amazing advertised on television. King School. Lionel pleaded with his parents to enroll him. It took a long time, but finally they agreed. The night before he was to leave for King's School, Lionel lay awake, thinking how he could change the world once he was king. There would be no more wars or pollution or unemployment or crime, but there would be ice cream and lots of ice cream for everybody. Look, cute. He is eating ice cream. In the morning, Lionel's family drove him to the train station. His father was giving him some last-minute advice when the conductor yelled out, "All aboard!" And Lionel's mother tried not to cry, but she couldn't help it. There's a train. Everyone hugged Lionel as he boarded the train. "Don't forget to write to us," his father shouted as the train pulled away. "I won't forget," Lionel yelled back. "And don't eat too much ice cream." Lionel heard his mother call out to him, but he pretended that he didn't hear her. Welcome. So you want to be a king? Cute. The King's School was magnificent. Lionel stood at the huge front gates and stared. It was the most exciting moment of his young life. For the next year, this would be his home. Hundreds of other princely little boys had come from all over the world, eager to begin their studies. After singing in the front desk, after signing in at the front desk, they were shown to their rooms. Cute. Wow, fun. Once everyone was settled, classes began. The students were instructed in the many rules of royalty. They learned how to give speeches and royal decrees, how to sit up properly on their thrones, and how to avoid tipping over red carpets, and how to keep their crowns on straight. Cute. There was history about the lives of famous kings, and there was a class on manners and how to invite important people to a royal ball. There were books to read and exams to pass. How cute is that? Lionel studied as hard as he could, and all the while he imagined what it would be like to have his own little kingdom. His long hours in the library were rewarded. He earned very high marks in all his subjects, and finally the year was over and school was finished. On graduation day, cute, look at that. On graduation day, there was a huge banquet for the students and their families. After dessert, the best ice cream he had ever tasted, Lionel was called to the stage to receive his diploma, and it read, "This is to certify that Lionel has completed all the courses at King's School and is therefore qualified for a full-time position as king." Cute. Good luck. The students gave their teachers a standing ovation. Then it was time to go home. The next evening, Lionel began searching for the job of his dreams. He read the newspaper for King Wanted ads, but there were none. He looked in the yellow pages under castles, but there didn't seem to be any. So he got out his map and studied the map. And just when he was beginning to feel frustrated, Lionel noticed a building on the lower right-hand corner. The printing beside it read, "Royal Palace." "Finally," Lionel shouted, "I will apply to be king in the morning." How cute. After a good night's sleep and a bowl full of ice cream, Lionel grabbed his diploma, put on his best crown, called a taxi, kissed his mom, whistled for Prince, and headed out the door. That is totally cute. The palace was everything that Lionel could have wished for. The walls and towers were solid marble, and the spires were polished copper. A deep moat of sparkling water surrounded it, but the heavy drawbridge was down, as if to welcome Lionel in. An enormous watchman stood guard at the front gate. Without any further delay, Lionel rushed forward to speak with him. There he goes. Monarch butterflies. Cute. And look, his ice cream right there. Just go. "Good morning," Lionel said in his most regal voice. "I am here to apply for the job of king. As you can see, I'm very well qualified. The guard stared down at him. Slowly, he shook his head. My dear boy, he began in a very discouraging tone of voice, you cannot apply to be king. I can't? Lionel asked, swallowing hard. Of course not, the guard continued. This isn't how it works. It's all in the family. You see, when His Majesty retires, his oldest son will take over. Then, when he retires, his oldest child will become king or queen. When that king or queen retires, Okay, Lionel interrupted. I get the idea. Poor Lionel, look how cute. There's a little ice cream in his puppy. Well, he looked around and trying to think. Fine, then, he said. Could you please tell me the way to the next royal palace so I can apply there to be king? My dear boy, said the watchman in that depressing voice again. There is only one royal palace and only one king. There was a moment of silence, so silent that Lionel could hear his own heart beating. A look of horror crept slowly across his face. In a very high voice, he said, Thank you. And he walked back across the bridge in a daze. And look, he spilled his ice cream cone. Terrible. Lionel walked until he came to a telephone booth. Gave him an idea. He would call King's School and get this whole mess straightened out. He dialed the number. We're sorry. The number you have called is no longer in service, said a recorded message. Oh my goodness. Terrible. Lionel dropped the receiver. No longer in service, he sputtered. He felt weak. He had to sit down. For a moment, Lionel thought he was going to faint. Then, off in the distance, he heard something familiar. Ice cream. Get your ice cream right here. Lionel looked up. A horse-drawn wagon was coming down the road. It bumped to a stop in front of Lionel. Good afternoon, Your Majesty, chirped the driver. Then he peered down at Lionel. Aren't you a long way from home? I'm not a king, Lionel answered. It doesn't look like I ever will be either. And as far as home goes, I don't even have the taxi fare to get back home. Then he explained his entire story about the school, that his dream of being king, and his big disappointment at the castle. Well, said the ice cream man cheerfully, I happen to be looking for someone to help me run my ice cream wagon. But I'm not qualified, Mona Lionel. I don't have any experience, and I don't know how to do anything except be a king. Well, can you shout, ice cream, get your ice cream? Sure, answered Lionel. Then you've got the job. Besides, I've always wanted a fancier name for my business. Now that I have a new partner, how does the Ice Cream King sound to you? The Ice Cream King, Lionel whispered in awe. Sounds a lot better than plain old ice cream, doesn't it? Lionel had to agree. Then, welcome aboard. The ice cream man held out his hand and pulled his new partner up into the wagon. As they drove toward his house, Lionel began to grin. Isn't this cute? This is the best little story. Look how cute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scoops. With his crown and his little robe. How cute is that? 25 cents. And what a good little story this is. Oh my goodness, look. Ice cream, get your ice cream, Lionel shouted. Today's special is Royal Ripple, 25 cents a scoop. Lionel felt just like a king. What a cute little story. It got me all choked up. Cute little story. And there's a little melted ice cream. I really enjoyed that. Oh my goodness. Well, out of the two, this definitely was my most favorite. What awesome memories of the ice cream truck I had as a kid growing up. When we heard that ice cream truck, so this was me as a kid growing up in the 60s, and then even in the 70s in junior high school, the sound of the ice cream man coming, I'm telling you, it was like pandemonium, screaming, the ice cream. What a fun memory. Oh my goodness, and this little boy's wish came true. He went to king school, and he got all the ice cream he could have. And then, this was like a real positive book. This is a reminder of, how something can happen that might not be favorable, but there's always an experience or a new something that you can gain from it. This little grandma and grandpa had a little incident with the sparrow, and the dog ran away, and it just caused a ruckus at the table, and grandma spilled her ice cream cone, and little Edie, because of the mishap, tasted her first vanilla ice cream ever, and she liked it. So that was kind of fun, and shows you how something good came out of a little bit of turmoil at the table. Oh my goodness. This is really a good little book. It stirred up a lot of little things in me. The royalty, just the wish to be royalty, and how he had his room plastered with everything positive to keep him focused on royalty. Oh, so cute. And of course the ice cream. really was a big part of my life growing up, the ice cream man. And the prices were outrageous. They were crazy outrageous. But my parents never argued or fought about it. It was like everybody was excited about the ice cream man. Well, how you guys enjoyed that? I don't know how, if, or when I'm ever going to get over this ice cream. This ice cream mode I'm in. Thank you again, Sherry G. There's a lady. Her name of her channel is Sherry G. And a while back, a month or two, she started this ice cream thing on Fridays. And she'd always have 2 flavors of 31 Baskin Robbins. Every Friday. I believe it was every Friday. And I can't even begin to tell you what fun memories. It reminded me of fun childhood memories. So much so that I went back to Baskin Robbins, which is right around the corner from our house, and I hadn't been there in years. I could not even think of how long it had been. And I got a little sticker shock when a little teeny tiny cup, a kid's little tiny, like a 1 scoop cup, was $3.10. It was like 1 scoop without even the cone. It was just 1 scoop in a cup. Then I found out at the grocery store. Here's a hot tip. The little pints, this size. I guess these are pint. Yeah, these pint size. You could get them at the grocery store when they are on sale, 2 for $5. So that's kind of nice. Better, not so bad a sticker shock. And Thrifties, I mentioned that earlier. You could get the same when they're on sale, 2 for $4. But Baskin Robbins is way better ice cream. I pay the extra money for the taste of Baskin Robbins. But I still will buy Thrifty ice cream because of the wonderful memory. And not only can you buy Thrifty ice cream, but you can also buy Thrifty ice cream cones at Rite Aid. Apparently, Rite Aid bought Thrifty years ago. I'm not sure of the whole story about that, but they carry Thrifty ice cream cone. So that's fun for our family. Let's see, what else? No. I hope you guys enjoyed this tonight. Hopefully you're asleep by now. And you're not even listening to any of my rambling. I cannot believe how much I love this book. I had totally forgotten about the ice cream man. And this little book brought back all those good memories again. I can't believe I get so choked up when I read these little kids' books. Crazy. And I get so relaxed. These feathers. And they still smell brand new. These feathers get me so relaxed. I can't believe it. I hope they get you relaxed. I hope I made your evening relaxing for you and calm. Or you could get to sleep and have a good night's sleep. Thanks for watching.